Has this got you hot under the collar, or do you not really care? Is this just a nonsense?
I think what's gotten me hot under the collar is the amount of people that are now bullying Jesy Nelson again for her appearance when she did a documentary not long ago with BBC Three called Odd One Out, where she detailed how when she was a member of Little Mix, she was repeatedly bullied for her appearance, for being supposedly overweight, which actually led to her attempting suicide in 2013. And I was sat there thinking, this girl has been bullied for decades for her appearance, and people are bullying her again now for supposedly blackfishing. And look, I think this is ridiculous because we all borrow things from different cultures from time to time. And if she wants to self-tan and make her hair a bit curly, why can't she do that? This idea that white women aren't allowed to, adjust their appearance and plump up their lips for fear of offending, the black community or appearing racially ambiguous, I think it's quite simply tyrannical. And, I remember seeing her in that X Factor, I remember watching it. Her skin was always quite tanned, and from my view, she always had quite a tomboy, urban sort of style. And she said herself, once she left Little Mix and announced the single, the reason why she was so excited about doing it was precisely because she couldn't actually produce the music that she listened to, which was R&B. This is simply inspiration. And why can't people be inspired by black culture? I think we should be celebrating the fact that we borrow things from different cultures through music, not accusing people of blackfishing. It's ridiculous.
I mean, what's sad about this, isn't it, that it seems to me that Little Mix were a group of girls who really represented girls together, that sort of sense of sorority. And you're right, it does feel a bit like bullying. But are there moments, Dominique, that, people do overstep the mark and you do think, well, come on, that's actually offensive? Or is it just the case that we should just live and let live and everyone should dress how they want, act how they want, and people need to stop being so sensitive?
I think for the most part, we should live and let live because, look, at the end of the day, black women do things as well that make them appear racially ambiguous. For example, wearing blonde weaves and wigs, and nobody says that they're culturally appropriating white women. I do understand the concern, though, because there is a concern amongst black women in particular that when white women co-opt things such as afro-styled hair, plumped up lips, darker skin, it can be seen as more, socially acceptable, more desirable in terms of beauty standards. So I do think there is a line somewhere. I remember there was a story quite a while ago, actually, about this tanning brand in Sweden, and white girls were tanning their skin to the point of it actually being similar to that of a black person. So I understand that concern, but Jesy Nelson tanning her skin a bit and, wearing curly wigs when she herself has said that she has curly hair, I don't necessarily see how those societal problems can be applied to every single white woman, because we don't know that Jesy Nelson went to a surgeon or a hairstylist and said, hey, let me get all this stuff to make me look black so I can release a single years from now to culturally appropriate and profit from black culture. It sounds completely ridiculous, and I think people need to leave her alone.
And Josh, I mean, is that your position, that it's about time people just left Jesy Nelson alone? I mean, if she wanted to be left alone, making a big music video with mega pop stars is not necessarily the best way of going about it.
Well, I don't think Jesy Nelson necessarily wants to be left alone. I think that's a misconception that she wanted to live a private life. It's not that. She just wanted a life away from the constant comparisons to other bandmates. But, Dominique, I do actually have a question for you, because I think it is important to say that actually this accusation was largely brought up by her former bandmate Leanne Pinnock, who is herself a woman of colour. So, I mean, I just want to kind of talk a bit about, who am I, obviously, to say, yeah, it's blackfishing, I am a white male. But this accusation did come from a woman of colour. So is this kind of saying that some of the claims from women of colour who maybe are offended by what could be described as appropriation, do you think, they're valid?
Well, I think where Leanne's concerned, she did message a TikTok star named Nohoon, basically saying, why don't you do a video about Jesy Nelson blackfishing, when he posted a TikTok dancing to the music video. Where Leanne is concerned, I think she's seen the comment and hopped on a bandwagon, essentially, because there were a lot of comments from other commentators saying, if a black woman were to do this, she wouldn't be seen as accepted, but now Jesy can. It's just an example of the colorism that that exists within society. So personally for me, I do feel as though Leanna's sort of jumped on a bandwagon, because when she was actually in the band, and, you know, Jesy was in the band for years and years, this wasn't really an issue then. And I've seen photographs of her. She's always had quite tan skin. She plumped up her lips precisely because she was constantly being attacked for her appearance. And I was looking at pictures of her as well, and she's always sort of had that sort of curly hair. I mean, I watched it in the documentary, which I think was in 2019. So this sort of attack has really come from nowhere. And that's why I completely support Nicki Minaj in standing up for her, definitely.
Thank you.